My name's Kiara. I'm from Whitby. I live in the town of Whitby, but both of my parents are Jamaican. However, I was born in Canada. Well, I'd like to start by saying until I was 10, I lived in a predominantly black part of Canada. I lived in Scarborough, specifically Malvern in Toronto. So honestly, I didn't even know many white people through school. And then when I was 10, I moved to Whitby, Ontario, maybe like 45 minutes away, which is a predominantly white town, as most people know. And although that has changed in the last 20 years maybe or so. When I had initially moved there, it was very much sort of in-your-face racism. People didn't hold back in terms of, yelling slurs and that kind of thing, even within school. But I acclimated, of course, that's kind of necessary. And then ultimately, I ended up at Kingston through law school. And that's been a bit different, I find, because of course my time in Whitby has made me very used to being there. But I find that Kingston is kind of like Whitby was maybe 15 years ago. So I think in terms of like DEI, for example, or just in general interest about black people or the rights of marginalized people, that Kingston hasn't quite caught up, which is interesting because it's touted as this university town through Queens. So you would think that would trickle out. I think part of the reason for that is because most people who go to Queens are not from Kingston, so they come from outside of the area. And it is quite an adjustment, definitely. I'm currently right now looking into child protection, which is an area where black and brown people are overly represented in CAS cases or that kind of thing, where authorities are called to the home to check. And I think that a big issue with that is that there are people who are attending these situations who don't exactly have an understanding of what it means to be black and black culture and how that changes parenting and how it changes the sort of schema with your children. So I intend to be put in that place just so that I can advocate for parents, especially black parents, who again are disproportionately represented among people whose children are put into the care of the state.